Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam, and welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is all about what do you want? What do you want, and will you get it? What you need to do to get it, okay? We have 3 piles today only because I am lazy. I'm still being a lazy pumpkin. I'm having all kinds of personal issues. I'll leave it at that. But anywho, mostly health. So if I sound stuffy, I apologize. My stuffy, not like stuffy uptight, but like stuffy in my nose. And I might sneeze a bit, and I apologize. I'm also on call, so if a customer calls, I'll have to ditch you and run out. So let's hope we get this done today. I also apologize for not having my reviews up yet for the December decks. That has been a nightmare in the making. All of them are filmed. It just won't upload the dang thing. So no fears. If I have to upload them one at a time like I've been doing, that's fine. I just wanted it to be all in one cute little package for you. And, you know, that's what I get for trying to be cute. So remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it is just your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. I do have my messages on, so just bear with me if you hear that little chime. That's just somebody sending me a message. I will get to it later. Okay, so we have piles 1, 2, and 3. We have ornaments for you to choose off of my tree this year. These are all little ornaments made out of wood, as you can see. Here we have kind of a lover's kind of situation with initials carved into a tree. The initials are J and W, if that speaks to you. We also have this cute little snowman. Isn't he so cute? Somebody made that. Yeah, a friend of mine actually like handmade that. And then they were like, it was just a decoration for the jar of cookies I brought you. I was like, well, it's an ornament on my tree now. And then this is the Globe Theater, located over in England. That is where they do Shakespeare productions to this day. I used to teach English, and so a very kind student from my past brought me that cute little thing when he went to England and saw the Globe firsthand, which I never have. So he's way ahead of me in the cool department when it comes to a Shakespeare. So let me see. The cards we will be using today are as follows. I have the oracle cards that you will have. Those have been pre-shuffled just for you for each of the piles. And then I have this deck here. Eventually I will have the review of those up. I just can't get it to upload for some reason. And then that's these ones. And then all of you will be getting clarification with these awesome tarot cards. So each pile will get your clarifications with these, not pre-shuffled. And the deck for that is called the Yuletide Tarot. I'm like digging around my office trying to find all these things. A nice big beautiful set of cards here for you, my friends. This is also my kitty cat's room where they like to look out the window and check things out. So one of them might hop up here. I can't promise that that won't happen. So, thank you so much. Go ahead and focus in on which ones you need. Pause if you need, and I will see you in your individual readings on what it is you want and will you get it. See ya. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 1. So if you picked this ornament with the lover's initials carved into a, looks like birch perhaps, a birch tree if you will, this is going to be your reading about what you want. So I'm feeling right off the bat, you know, that since you got the lover's ornament, you might be reading about love. Gross. Oh yeah, my tea kettle's on, so if we hear whistling, I will pause. So let's start with your oracle cards. We have the light card. Hope is but a word casting the unseen. Let there be light where light is but a dream. We also have contemplation number 7. It breathes in the stillness and all that is, exhaling all that isn't, coming from the ends of the starts and the highest of the lows. Here I gasp for the answers to unfold. Yes, you guys want answers. You want to know if you're going to get what you want. Offerings. I give to you my heart's intent wrapped in gratitude and thankfulness. Devotion in exchange for your presence. Here I am getting my essence. What a yummy little cake of onions. Those look like onions to me. What's happening here? And then we have candle magic number 2. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light the spell spilling from your grip. Okay, so some of you might be into candle magic. I love the spiral they got going on there. Okay, so let's talk about each one of these. So the light. I feel like some of you want hope. I feel like some of you just want to have hope in this situation. Like, forget about what you want. You just want hope in general. Like, I feel like some of you have maybe lost your hope at this time. Here comes Atticus. Atticus is here to say, don't lose hope, Mew Mew. Do not lose hope, Mew Mew, my little friends. Oh, Atticus. Yeah. Atticus has his own little Instagram with my other cats called Solili Lunicus. It's all their names scrambled together. And they do little readings where their cards that they pick, I put them next to them and take a picture. And usually I've been told their stuff is spot on. He's gonna hunker down next to us and chill, huh, buddy? That's always a good sign when Atticus comes into the room and blesses our reading. Okay, and I apologize if you end up seeing my awful reflection in this. I can barely see. The lighting seems pretty good for you guys. Not so good for me being able to see anything. So with the hope card, look at all these candles that she's lighting to light up that darkness, okay? It seems as though the hope that you seek is something that's going to be created by you, okay? By finding your light. So we're going to talk about that. In our last video, we talked a lot about charity, so I might end up getting on that charity wagon again. It is Christmas time. I love charity stuff at Christmas time. Contemplation as well, like wanting those answers, like trying to figure out what you want and if those answers to what you want comes. The hope that you're lacking is for something. And so we'll get into that. I just can't quite figure out what that might be. It could be love. Sorry for the shaking. Hi, buddy. It could be. It could be something else that you really want. But as of right now, it's like the hope is what you're after. The hope of the thing happening. With the offerings card, I feel like that's your guide saying that there's something to bring about the hope that you haven't offered yet, or there's an offering being brought to you that you haven't seen yet. That is definitely something that I'm seeing with this card here. And with candle magic, some of you might have already been trying candle magic to manifest this. And others might this might be like a little nudge to study and try out some candle magic. So that's always something to try. I'm into candle magic, but I've been taking a break because I was recently told that my fire element is way too high, which totally makes sense. I'm a fiery gal, even though I'm a water sign. All right, let's look at your tarot. Yeah, see, 10 of Swords. There's nothing more hopeless than the 10 of Swords for people, man. Look at this poor guy having a rough time. How much hope does he have, right? But the cool thing about the 10 of Swords is that, yes, something is over, but it's not hope, y'all. That might be how it feels, okay? It might be like you don't feel like there's any way out of this situation. I feel like for some of you, this could be health, okay? And not like relationship stuff. Atticus agrees, Mew Mew. I talk for my cats and give them funny little voices. He kind of sounds like John Wayne. Because he's a tough guy, right, Atticus? Yes, okay. And that is also something, the tough guy cat is at the table. I feel like some of you are so tired of playing the tough person being strong when you've got all these swords in your back. And I feel that too. Like, I feel like as I'm reading these cards, that hope is so fleeting for you right now that like everything I'm saying is like kind of like ticking you off, because you're like, I've tried that. I've tried to keep my hope. I have tried to see my way forward. I am right there with you. I am going through the exact same thing currently. So just bear with me as we get the rest of your cards. Oh, Five of Swords. This can be a couple of different things. Gosh, those are two really painful sword cards to get in a reading. Ten of Swords is all about feeling stuck, feeling stabbed in the back, feeling like there's no way forward. Seeing that in some certain situations, there is literally no way forward. You are totally stuck in that, there's no way to bring back what's gone if something was lost, okay? But I want you to picture, when you think about this part of the card, see behind the swords, that light. The Ten of Swords always has a message of hope with it, which also goes along with this card, of like, it's darkest before the dawn, all those cliches, blah, blah, blah. I know, I don't like hearing them either. When I'm going through a hard time and I finally throw my hands up and I'm like, I'm losing hope, the first thing that people usually tell me are like the 9, 10, 12, 20, 30 things that I've already tried that are not working. Keeping a stiff upper lip, letting things go, forgiving, accepting, right? Moving on. Like, I'm doing that and I still feel horrid. I'm feeling that from you. I feel like for some of you, this was a person that made you feel bad. Okay. Somebody did you dirty, right? I'm also feeling that for some of you in this pile, that you've been pushed to this point of like not really being able to like look out for anyone but yourself, because every time you try to put it out there for other people, you get like messed over, which is not cool, right? So like I'm seeing that as well. It's like this frustration of like, I've tried, and look what keeps happening. Like, I tried all that back when the first sword was just in my back. Now there's 9 more. And one of them's in my flip, and 2 of them are in my head. Like, and remember, this is not a situation you can't get out of. Okay. Something did end. Yes. And I feel like once we get to this point in our lives, in our situations, in our hope, right, that something does get lost because there was something that isn't there, and that takes a piece of you as well. There's something that you want, that you need, that's been taken from you. And that also, the realization of not getting that also has made you feel this way, has made you feel even more stuck, okay? Has made you feel more like this about people, of like, either I'm just going to take care of myself and to heck with those guys, or it's like, this is all I do is try to help me while somebody's back there doing me dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's just taking care of them and I'm not getting taken care of. I'm getting left over here, right? This action can cause this reaction of feeling. This feeling can also cause you to behave this way, of like shutting people out, taking care of yourself, maybe even deceiving others because you've been deceived, right? I've done that. I've done that before. Like, you like order something and that company's ripped you off before, but they're a huge company, so you just keep buying stuff from them, and then they accidentally send you 2 of something and you're like, I'm keeping one and returning the other, so it's like I got it for free. And you justify it by being like, they screw me over all the time. They mess people over all the time. They just messed me over last year when they wouldn't refund me for that one thing that broke. So I'm taking this. Okay. I've done that. I've done it emotionally. I've done it mentally. I've done it in deeds. Okay. Let's look and see what else we've got. Oh, there we go. Some 9 of Pentacles action. I'm seeing with this that this is also kind of giving me the feeling that you are hanging out by yourself. You've pulled away, right? Because of that hope getting I feel like this is people connected. I'm just going to call it what it is. Whether it's professional or personal, platonic or romantic. Like, I feel like this is persons related. People took your hope, I feel. it could be worldwide as well. Has anybody seen how ugly everybody's being worldwide right now? Like lots of fighting going on, just of ideas, right? The swords are about ideas and thoughts. So I'm pointing at those. And it's been like that for a long time. And I'm not going to get into politics, but it's like the energy of like people fighting and being like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. No, we can't be friends. You know, it's like that's rampant. Social media has been getting kind of rampant in that. And it's even if it's not directly affecting you, energetically it does when that kind of stuff is being thrown around. Yes, and you're tired. You need rest. Okay, so these are like the main cards that I'm seeing for like your overall energy. What you want. I feel like it's almost like it doesn't even matter to you what you want anymore. You just wanted hope that anything good could happen. You know, for some of you, I feel like it is something specific. You know, we all have some big thing that we're focused on that we want, right? It could be money. It could be love. It could be understanding. It could be people believing you. It could be people actually just flipping, not doing this and doing the right thing. Like actually like reaching out to each other, being a light in the darkness instead. And I feel you contemplating this with the contemplation card so thoroughly that it's like, oof, almost getting you into that Four of Cups feeling of like, even if something good did fall out of the sky right now, you might not see it because you've got two swords in your head. Right? The offerings card. I feel like there could be something being offered to you. Okay. Also notice the numbers, right? We got 27, 24, and 2. If you're into I can't even say it, so I must not be very good at it. Numerology. That might be something for you to look at. Okay. As far as ways that you can offer things to your gods, your guides, whomever you pray to. What kind of offerings can you give them? It could be an offering just of thank you for being with you during this awful time, right? It could be offerings. Here we go. I promise not to go off like I did last time and go into details about go to a shelter and play with kittens and hug little babies at the hospital who don't have moms. But I do see that it might take you, and you probably don't really want to do this, but offer something of yourself to somebody else who's in the same boat. Offer hope to someone. Ugh, I do this all the time. I'm like, doesn't it sound like fun? I'm like, ugh, I do it. It's not bad. Offering something to people. Like I try during the Christmas season to make sure that every like conversation I have is very, very meaningful with someone and that I give them hope as well, whether it's a poor customer service person working around the holidays or whomever. It's just something to kind of offer that light when somebody won't give it to me. Does that make sense? And I know that sounds like not much of a solution, but it pulls you out of that funk and you start noticing other people doing it too. Maybe not to you right away, but it does occur. You'll see it start to happen, right? Candle magic, sending out a little candle to like send out love to someone or healing to someone. Lighting a candle for yourself, like this candle represents hope for me. And as I'm watching it sitting there burning in my window or on my altar, I am going to feel hope and I'm going to let myself fill up with hope. And I'm going to allow myself to let this change, okay? I'm going to talk to my gods and ask them for help. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to look at the things that I do have that I'm grateful for. Because that's always important, guys. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's so important to look around and be like, what do I still have when hope is dwindling? Because it's hard, okay? And I know sometimes you might not have anything, right? But if you're breathing, you've got something, okay? And it might just take a little bit of some rest, a little bit of healing, and a little bit of, contemplating on like what parts you've played, what parts other people played, trying to forgive, trying to let go. and moving forward is very, very crucial to you at this time. I feel like what you want is almost secondary. And that's why I'm not like getting into like, oh, this could be like a promotion. This could be like a person that you want to date. This could be, you want your person that you're already with to see something important. All of those things are they're relative, but like it's more about that hope inside, and like you giving so much and feeling like you just get this. Okay. Focus on what you do have. If you are focusing on what you do have, it makes the bad stuff a little bit less. It helps to do a gratitude journal, all of that stuff. Enough about that, though. I know I'm about to make you puke, because I know a lot of you watching this right now are like, I know I've tried all of it. I can feel that. I've been there. It's so hard for me not to get snippy when somebody's just trying to help. Like, but I tried that already. And then I got this. I got an extra sword in my head, you know? Thank you. Thank you. It just hurts. You know what I mean? And I feel that, guys. Yeah, conflict, baby. Some of this has to do, yeah, this is like people conflict. It's like the petty squabbling. See, these guys are like squabbling over like a restaurant bill, possibly squandering over like some kind of correspondence, right? They're having a rough go of it. The candles are wands in these. And also it's interesting that you got wands, because you have a lot of candles going on here. But yeah, some conflict has come along with people that has hurt and caused all of this. It's causing you to lose your hope that whatever you wanted is not going to happen. Let's keep going. Yep, 7 of Cups. All the cups are called good cheer in this, even if they don't look super cheerful. Like, this poor guy looks very overwhelmed. Okay. But it's because there's so much. There's so much to like do. There's so much to see. There's so much to learn and feel. And like sometimes, man, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm feeling it and I'm an empath and I'm doing a reading for you, chances you're feeling this too. Ugh, so many feelings. And like, I hate it when people are like, feel your feelings. I'm like, oh gosh, really? Oh, trust me, I'm feeling them. You know, but at the same time, I'm not accepting them. I'm not embracing them. I'm not, you know, I'm not really looking at them that deeply. I'm just like feeling the pain they cause me and be like, yeah, I feel it. It's great. You know, I've got all this stuff, all these things I got to fill. Great. Right. You know, we've got health, we've got love, we've got jobs, we've got happiness, contentment, you know, all of those things that we want, that we're trying to get. I feel like so many people in this pile just want to feel content and not have to feel like they are struggling every day to try to survive. Boy, howdy, can I relate. Let's keep moving. I'm going to keep moving. I can talk about one card for hours and you guys are probably sick of it. Okay. I saw this on the bottom of the deck when I was sitting here talking, and it caught my eye. And then I shuffled again. It was like, yeah, we're going to let you look and see it. The Tower. Some of you have had a Tower moment. Some of you are heading towards one, but the Tower moment, if you're heading towards it, is good. Okay. Stuff needs to be stripped down to be built back up again. And I feel like a lot of you have already had this Tower moment where you've already been rattled. You've already had some hope taken from you. This is showing that change is inevitable. It does happen. So are unforeseen circumstances and events. So the main thing the Tower wants you to know is that once that whole thing gets ripped down, all that's left to do is rebuild again. Remember that sunrise in the background? Like, there's good things still to come with this card. Same thing with the Tower. Yes, that tree just got totally like split by lightning, but it's going to either survive or something new is going to grow in its place, right? And so that's something that your guides want you to remember, is that even in the face of like massive destruction and hurt and pain and deceit and betrayal and being drained and losing hope and conflict. It all is temporary, as Grandmama says. This too shall pass. Let me see what else we got. This just fell off the bottom. No, 5 of Swords again. You poor kids. So he's got all the candy canes and like they're over there struggling and he's just like, I'm gonna sit here and eat my candy canes. Okay. In some cases it almost feels like he's hoarding the candy canes for himself. Like, hey, while you guys are busy on that, let me go get these, candy canes and just have myself a little snacky. Okay. I love his little face. This kid doesn't give a F about anybody but himself. He's even enjoying that, like, they're struggling. He's like, yeah, struggle while I enjoy this little snack I'm having. Okay. I'm seeing this as being like something that's definitely in the forefront of your mind. Some of you are like thinking, I'm just going to be like this kid because what has the world given me? Right. And I'm going to tell you don't do that. Right. But I mean, I get it. I've done it. I do it. So I can't lecture you too hard. But for those of you that are these guys and this is this is hurtful. Like, you guys are hurt. Like, if this happened to you, someone did this to you, they did. It hurts. Okay. It usually comes down to selfishness and carelessness with 5 of Swords. It also has to do with every man for himself. We're not going to help. Okay. Oof. Hang on. I just got a doozy in my mind. I gotta get my tea off the kettle. Hang on. And it's especially hard when people don't live up to our values. You know what I mean? It's really hard. And so then the choice is like, do I just like beat them at their own game? Do I just do what everyone else is doing because that's what everybody else is going to do anyway? Or do I do something different? You know what I mean? That's always something to be considered. Okay, let's keep on going. Once again, betrayal, holding on to something so tightly. I feel like some of you are holding on to a betrayal very tightly. And this betrayal could be something like not as concrete. This could be like a betrayal that you feel happened from like God even, or your creator, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Your creator, the great spirit, right? It could be like you deserved something and God didn't give it to you. How dare you, God? Like, I do the right thing. I'm a good person. I pause videos when I need to cough so I don't blow out the eardrums of the people listening. Stuff like that. Where's my reward, God? No hope? Thanks so much. There's like, there's an anger to that. And that's okay. Like this betrayal that some of you are hanging on to, I'm going to tell you to let it go. But I feel like what you want is either for the betrayal to have never happened or for the one who betrayed to come out and admit that they suck, apologize, and make it better. And that's not something that people always do, which also leads to feeling like, well, maybe no one's ever going to do that for me. Maybe, and then hence you lose your hope. Okay. I feel that. Yeah. Two of Pentacles, juggling, right? You're sick of somebody juggling you, juggling your time. I feel like a lot of you, this is a relationship or person situation. It is the holiday season. So a lot of us are getting to spend time with our wonderful families. And whenever we do that, we have to deal with not only our wonderful family, but whatever family they've married into and whatever person they're dating and whatever thing they're into right now. And like, you have to be exposed to all of that. I also feel like for some of you, the betrayal is like, somebody cheated on you or did you dirty. Possibly a lover, most likely a lover in a lot of cases. Like, it sucks to be double did like that. Like, I feel like in some cases there was an infidelity or that you're thinking about somebody doing an infidelity. For some of you, it might be something that happened behind your back that you were unaware of. If it wasn't like a, sexual infidelity, if it was like more of like, you found out that your family all went, and did something fun without you and you could have gone and they just didn't bother calling you and they're like, oh, we just forgot. And it's like, well, that feels good to be forgotten. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best, right? Yes. It's also a card of juggling your time, your feelings, your finances. You can't maintain that way the whole time, right? Eventually something needs to get set down. And so like I feel like a lot of you too, during all of this crisis that you're in, or this like time of struggle for you, you also have a billion stupid things to do for Christmas. And I say stupid because my gosh, they don't call it Stressmas for no reason, right? Once again, I'm going to talk about the stress about Christmas for a second. You know, you got to literally have to worry about getting killed in the car, just trying to get to the place you don't even want to go, right? In some cases, you know, you got to gag down that green bean casserole again. Those kinds of things. I'm trying to pick really petty little things, like gagging down a green bean casserole. You know what? If you don't like green bean casserole, just say no, y'all. If there's like, but I worked so hard on it and like I don't like it, Carol. Okay, it's like enough with the green bean casserole. Okay, let's keep going. Somebody out there is like, I hate green bean casserole, and when you said that, I felt it so strongly. All right, we're gonna keep on going and see what else we need to see. We need some hope for pile one. Pile one's in a funk. I'm in a funk. I don't even know how to help you, you know. Oh yes, grandma's here. This too shall pass. This is temporary, you're being told. This is something that's not going to keep on coming, okay? It's also going to end well, is what I'm seeing. So like this cycle that you're in, you are headed somewhere better. And that's what that sunrise promises. That's also the promise of the tower. Like, yes, something's being torn down, but something better can come up in its place now. Those are all messages of the cards, okay? What I love about tarot and oracle reading is there's very little room for little hope. Generally, they're going to give you hope, right? They're going to give you something to hang on to, because your guides are not here to just like make you feel like things are hopeless. They're here to give you hope and lead you home. Knight of Wands. There, now we're talking. This is about being in love. It's also about passion and action through passion, okay? It's about fire and inspiration. We also have, dang, King of Wands. So that's just like Knight of Wands, except for you've done the action and now you're basking, okay? You're accomplished, you're matured. All of this is leading to better love, better outcomes, better coping with situations when they don't work out, better dealing with people. I really don't feel like, even though some of us are like, I'm going to be this guy, because F the world, man. Been there. I was there a couple of weeks ago. For real. Straight giving up. You got to pull yourself out, you know, like there's not much else you can do, right? But when you do, you're going to get Knight of Wands. You're going to get King of Wands, feeling inspired, feeling love, feeling passion again, okay? So don't be afraid of this transition that you're in. This hope that you're lacking, it's there. Your guides are there keeping it for you. We also have the Magician. You have all the tools you need to see through this. I think a lot of times when people lose hope and get upset, it's because you're actually a really, really beautiful soul and a wonderful person, and you get mired down by the ugliness in the world. You also get mired down by the things that happen to you that are not ideal, and that's okay. You're human. Like, that's the way it is. Like, I feel those feelings, as they say. And that even means the feelings of like, hey, kitties. Hang on. Sorry, my kitty cats were fighting. They do that. They're picking up on that conflict, y'all. Okay. Last thing, Spirit for pile one. Moving forward. Today is 12/12 when this is a timeless reading, but it is 12/12 today. Yeah, don't focus on what you lost. Focus on what you still have. Focus on what you have. Yes, these cups are broken. They can't be put back together again, probably. But she's got 2 awesome gold cups back here. And she's got a cat. Dudes, if you have a cat, there is hope, okay? And if you don't have a cat, there's cats out there that need homes. Go get one. If you can, you know. Don't go get one if you're going to get evicted for it, because then you and the cat will be homeless. Sullivan, stop. As I'm yelling at my cat. They're really fun. Knock it off. All right. Focus on what you do have. That's the main message of hope I'm getting. Also, remember, if this was about love, gross. But if it is about love, that's very positive energy there with those Knight and King of Wands being there. That it's not gone. Okay. A chapter has closed. Yes. And that's made you feel like you are hopeless. Something bad happened. Yes. And it makes you feel hopeless. But the offering I want for you to focus on is offering yourself the affirmation that this can change. This can be different. I'm like snapping at my cat. Leave the other kitty alone. Things can be different and they can be better. Okay. So that's the main thing I want you to hear, pile ones. I am right there with you. I feel like I was reading for myself that whole time. Brightest blessings, you guys. Please hang in there. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Give me topic ideas there as well. And then if you want to book a private reading, there's ways to do so in the description box. If you liked these cards, I promise I will have reviews for them up eventually. I just can't get them to upload. It's a mystery. Okay, but I'm going to keep going. If I have to do one at a time, I will. Okay, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 2. So if you picked the cute little snowman ornament, it's so cute. This is going to be your reading. All about what do you want and will you get it? Let's go ahead and look at your oracle cards. We have the Yule log, number 44. Some of you, I feel like, are just going to eat a tasty, one of those little tasty holiday logs that's like cake rolled up with like creamy stuff and frosting and things in there. I don't know. I've never actually eaten one, but they look tasty when I see them on TV. Number 44, insert me with a bleeding thought, a sacred creation birthed from thy. I am God, I am goddess, I am creation and the creator. Ooh. Interesting. Let's see what else we've got. We also have falling in love. Gross. I was so mean. Okay, we have number 11, falling in love. The thorns of roses rip open the heart, only for thy petals to bleed into thy soul. Oh. They look really cute and happy, don't they? Gross. Okay, let's keep going. I also think it's interesting that we have 11 here and then we have 44. And like, I think of like 44 and 4 in general. I think of the 4 of Wands and how it like makes that like 11-11 kind of look. Just saying, something to think about. We also have perseverance. Stay in thy power, dear child, for thy lonely is never alone when the world is dreadful upon thy turn to this. Oh, upon thy. They say thy instead of thee. It confuses me. Turn to the spirits within thee. Okay. I'm just going to say thee because it sounds so weird if I say thy. I apologize for not reading the words as they appear. We have number 44, number 11, 26, which also adds up to 8, which is also 2 4s put together. I'm just saying. I'm not a huge numerology person, and 4, ceremony, number 4. We have, I call upon those heralds of winter, dimming light for better sight. Hear thy praise spilling from thy lips, a spell I'll cast for thy spirits in me. Okay, so some of you are doing some ceremony work. And I apologize for the nudity. I'm just not editing anymore. I can't. I just don't have time to sit there and put little sticky notes over everything. I mean, if they want to punish me, I guess they can. All right, let's look at, we're going to look at these first, or we're going to look at your tarot first. Yeah. So, for a lot of you, this is about love, For some of you, it's not. It's about falling in love with something else, like an idea, a ceremony, a way of life, okay? I also see that you have it within you to create all of these things. I feel like what you want is to have it all. And this reading is kind of saying that you can have it all. And I don't know what have it all means to you per se. You know, in TV, they talk about it having it all as like being like a person who has family, love, career, a fun after work life. We call that recreation. Is that what people do? Is that what people do that don't have to work? Do they recreate? Okay, just checking. I feel like because you're embarking so hard into this project that you're in, whether it's a relationship that's romantic, which is super gross, just kidding, or it is a passion that you're delving into, okay? For some of you, I feel like the relationship you're in might not be approved of by others. So I'm going to do a quick little disclaimer because I'm going to talk smack about the disprovers, okay? But if they're being disproving because like your partner is like toxic or is like threatening you or beating you or something bad like that, obviously I'm going to lean towards these guys and be like, yeah, maybe I should discourage you from this relationship. But let's pretend everything's fine. I'm just kidding. I'm not. If that's going on, you got to listen to your family and try to get some help. But I'm seeing that that's generally not the case. I just like to give those little disclaimers. I feel like if they don't approve, it's because of petty reasons. Like maybe it lacks ceremony, like you're not married. Maybe it's the ceremony of being married to that person that bothers people. Maybe it is the world that doesn't want you together, okay? And maybe sometimes if it's not the world that doesn't want you together, it can feel like that because you find such opposition. I've noticed too with like happy couples that I heard a comedian talking about it where it was like, instead of saying, oh, I want what they have, there's like, I want him and I'll cut her throat to do it, right? It's like, I feel that around this thing that you're protecting, whether it's a romantic relationship or not. It's something you love, okay? Something that you're in love with. And for some reason, when you love something that much, it never seems to fail to amaze me that like these people will come in. And it's like, I don't understand if they're just like testimonians of like, hey, these guys look happy. Let's see if we can mess it up. Yay. And they come in and try to mess you up. A lot of times they take form of like your closest family and friends. You know, we're like, I don't know if you guys have family like this or friends like this, but since I'm thinking about it, it might resonate with some of you. Where like something good happens, and instead of being like, that's so great, I'm so happy for you, they're like, well, be careful. You know, like if it's a new love thing, they're like, well, make sure that you really get to know each other before you move in together, or make sure that you don't have kids right away. And then like you live together for like 8 years and things are going great. And like, why aren't you having kids together? Why are they dragging their feet? Talking about your partner like there's like trying to create problems where there aren't problems, okay? I feel that. I feel though, however, with this perseverance card that you have the ability to resist, okay? So what I feel like you want in this pile is like some kind of acceptance for your happiness, or at the very least, the perseverance to like, I was trying to say presence of mind, and then I saw perseverance and tried to say perseverance. This will happen more and more. That's just the time I caught myself doing that. You can always like shame me in the comments. Don't. Please. Taught English for years, and I dealt with all kinds of, you trip and they're like, but you're an English teacher, get it together, like, that kind of thing. Don't shame me. All right, here we go. Temperance, yes, finding balance. That's something that you probably want, my friends. Ugh, heartache. Dang it. I know you don't want that. Queen of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. Yeah, it's like you are here in this situation. But because those around you are kind of doing the whole like thing that people do, what's it called? Oh yeah, not minding their own flipping business. Because of that, you have heartache over that. So like it could be family, right? That's like not supporting you with your person. It could be friends and family not supporting you in celebrating with you that you have something that you love. Okay. So like for example, it's like when someone's trying to learn how to play an instrument or like learn how to sing or learn how to do something new. And instead of encouraging them, be like, that's so exciting and cool that you're like learning to play an instrument or you're learning a language or you're this, that, and the other. They instead criticize you about what, you know, how you're doing it isn't going to work for you because maybe that's not how they did it, right? How, you know, you better make sure that you do this. They might even also be excited, but then they give you all this like unsolicited advice of like, you could do this. Why don't you do this? You could do this. And you're kind of like, can't you just be happy with me? You know? And I feel like that's like something that happens with people. They're not trying. I feel like in a lot of cases, like the people in your life are not trying to bring you down with this like energy that they're rocking. And yet they are. I'm not displacing my thoughts. That's for sure. Discounting that. Use your words, Miriam. But I don't feel like most of this is coming from like a malicious place. I feel like it's coming from a place of they don't know what to say, so they just say something. And people just kind of do that without thinking. At the very least, it shows that they're not that present in what you've got going on. And so their comments are not necessarily wanted. You know, it's okay in those situations when people do that, even when they're trying, especially when they're trying to help, just say, man, I appreciate the advice, but this is not what I need to hear right now. And usually they'll be, oh, well, what do you want me to say? Like, I need to hear this. Okay. Things like that are what I'm feeling from this pile is this idea of, you're super happy about something. You just want everybody else to be happy for you too. That's what you want right now. And they're just not doing this. I felt like this reading was going to be more like, I want a new job. I want a new, you know, and maybe some of you, when you clicked on these, are like, yeah, I wanted to hear about my job, or I wanted to hear about my relationship, or I wanted to hear about my promotion, which would be your job. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, it's more along the lines of this deep needed want inside of you for something that isn't being given to you. Pile 1 had kind of the same thing, where it's like you want something from people in this pile, which is just to be happy for you and supportive of you, but you don't feel like you're getting it, and it's causing that heartache, even though all these wonderful things are happening. I'm also picking up on, for some of you, like if this is a love situation, that you might be like one of your parents might be kind of a grumpy Gus about love, like even worse than me. I really don't hate love that much. I just feel like people get wrapped up in it too much to like, they get wrapped up in it too much to be like the end all be all of what they need to be okay and content in life. And then even if they get it, you soon find out that that's not true. Okay. It's the same thing with winning the lottery, getting that perfect job you always wanted. It always comes with like nitty gritty underbellies that you didn't think about before, right? And maybe you even did think about some of them, but then these new ones crop up and you're like, oh, way to bring me down off my high horsey there, right? Let's get some Christmassy cards and see what we see there. Very nice. The High Priestess is what this card represents. I get some more. I feel like this is about realizing yourself, your relationship, your stuff, and whether or not other people realize that is kind of where you're at. You're here. They're more down in like devil country, or, and I'm not saying, I mean the devil card, right? Lower vibrational thinking. That's what I'm trying to get to. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, you feel alone in this. Oh, You feel like no matter what you do, like they always oppose you. I'm getting middle child syndrome a little bit. Like, maybe you have siblings or, we're all dealing with family right now. If you have family and you're dealing with them for the holiday season, some people end up being the like forgotten one in the family. I'm not even going to call you the black sheep, because the black sheep at least still gets negative attention, right? This is more along the lines of like, in the Seven of Wands, like this person is not usually forgotten. Usually like they're like facing off with all these other ones that are pointing at them. But this particular card, no one's holding these. He's just holding a bigger one and being himself, right? And he's all by himself. And that's what I feel is like, it makes you feel isolated. And that's where that heartache, energy comes in, is because these people they're not being happy for you when they should be happy for you. And they're discouraging you when they should be encouraging you. And this, I feel like, goes across all boards of platonic, romantic, professional, personal. So these could be people at work. Like maybe you're not being recognized at work and you do all these wonderful things. And then not only do they not recognize it, they might criticize you instead. Or you might see them like praising some other person for doing what you did already. Have you ever been in that infuriating situation where you had a great idea and you suggested it and you got kind of blown off, and then somebody else comes in with the exact same idea and everybody's like, such a good idea. Everybody give him a hand, and you're like, oh my flippin' gosh, are you serious right now? That was my idea. How dare you? And then your heart feels all achy. I'm feeling that. See how like I got all theatrical? It's because I feel that. So these all just like popped right off the bottom. We're going to take those as your messages for the rest of this reading. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do or how you choose. It's always the same situation. Like I feel like for those of you that this is a new relationship that you're into and not everybody else is as cool with it as you are, that this card actually represents that like it wouldn't matter which person you brought home. They would still do the same thing. Test it. Don't actually break up with your person. Tell everybody you did and see if they actually praise you or if they're like, oh, well, what happened? Did you like do that thing you do? Do you like my snooty nosy family member voice or like nosy people voice? I use that voice for the masses of people that just think they know everything and they just open their mouths without thinking and tell you whatever's on their mind, no matter how hurtful it can be. Or how off base they could be as well. Yeah, juggling things. Juggling your good feelings and your bad. The good, wonderful feelings of like persevering, ceremonies coming true, the Yule log, all these you created this wonderful thing with that Yule log energy. You persevered through all your challenges. You've gotten this wonderful thing, and all you want is for people to recognize it and be cool about it and congratulate you, tell you thank you if you did something for someone. There is nothing wrong with feeling like kind of ticked off about that. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I feel it. I feel it for you. Like I can feel my chest tightening as I'm doing this reading, and I want to go find your like, snooty aunt so-and-so and be like, hey, snooty aunt so-and-so, back off. They're doing their best. You should be thanking them or praising them, right? Yeah, Five of Swords. It's like, it doesn't matter, if you didn't ask for help, you should have asked for help. And if you did it without their help, well, then you're not going to get as much credit for doing it all by yourself, right? We might just give that credit to somebody else. You have a happy relationship with somebody and somebody comes along and tries to bring it down somehow. How many people have seen like that happy couple and then some weird drunk guy saunters up and is like, hey man, if you guys broke up, could I like date her? Like, what is that? Why would you say that to someone when like they're clearly in a happy, like they're at least pretending to be happy? Why would you come along and ruin that for them with such a weird, awkward comment? Right? The best answer to that one is just to break in and be like, I wouldn't date you anyway, so do I get a say in this? Because my answer is no. That usually shuts them right down. Okay, what else we got? Yes, the Tower. I feel like your Tower moment in this whole situation is going to be like letting all of this go, letting them burn themselves up. Let them burn themselves up. Don't listen to them, is mainly what I'm hearing. Ugh. And then also, don't expect them to do anything more than what they've already been doing. Like, they're simply probably, in most cases, in this reading, not capable of giving you what you want. And like, you kind of already have the big thing that you want. You just wanted recognition and like celebration with you in that journey, and you didn't get it from them. And so that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And it causes you to feel restless, right? It causes you, let them worry about their own feelings, you know? Yes. And then the Chariot with victory. The Seven of Wands is a victory card as well, just so you know. It's about, this kid already outdid all those candles. He's got the biggest candle there. He's the one that's up on the stage. He's the one that's made it there. Everyone else can just catch up or go mire someplace else. Like, ugh. I'm trying not to say mean words. I hate it when people act like that. The Chariot is all about victory over your challenges. I feel that you won't back down from these people. If you have in the past, you're not going to now. If somebody tries to steal your joy or your credit, I feel you actually stepping up. Here's the thing I want to caution you with. Don't step up too hard to the point where you look aggressive or, you know, because it sucks. I'm right here with you because I'm seeing all the stuff you've already put up with. It just gives them an excuse to be like, we were right. You can't control yourself, whatever, you know? It's like when people get called out on their ish, they tend to try to deflect that onto whoever made them feel bad. And so that all being said, it's very important to, when you do call them out on their ish, to stay calm. They might deserve every spicy little thing you want to say to them because they say spicy stuff to you in a passive aggressive way all the time or drag you down when you're happy, right? But at the same time, it's important to keep your cool so that you don't give them any fodder to say, oh, wow, right? We knew blah, blah, blah. It's closer, it gets you closer to getting what you want. One of the things I learned to do with a particular family member that I used to talk to on the phone all the time, they would get really, 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 really angry on the phone at like stuff I didn't do. It was just like stuff that happened to them in their life. And they would want to take it out on me. Contrarily wise, I'm kind of like that now with my partners. I'm like, you're here with me. You get to hear about it. Well, not really. It's not their responsibility to hold that. Just like when that person was doing it to me, I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to hold it. And I actually got to the point where I would have to say, so-and-so, I love you, but I cannot listen to you talking like this. And when you would say that, of course, that turns right back on you. Oh, you never did this, and you're so awful, and yada, yada, yada. And at that point, it's like, I'm hearing you. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm going to hang up the phone now, though, because I will not be spoken to this way. And you hang up the phone. Generally, within 5 minutes of those conversations, that family member would call me right back and say, you're right, I'm sorry. You know, did it happen over and over and over again? Oh, yeah, there was plenty of practice to keep that in play. But I didn't deviate from it. And we ended up getting to a point where we didn't have to have that kind of awful conversation anymore. It was more, you know, polite and less hurtful for at least me. Maybe that's not what they wanted, but they're the ones that were acting unreasonable. I'll say unreasonable. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, the Knight of Wands. That's all about falling in love. So that could be what your guides want you to focus on right now instead, is just the good things that you do have. Yeah, the Sun. Look, falling in love and being in the Sun is great. Not everyone's going to be as happy for you as you are for yourself. And that's the most important thing to remember is, like, I feel like as we as I punch my camera, I feel like as we get older and start moving through life, at least I have realized, remember when you're like a kid and some kid picks on you and everybody's like, they're just jealous of you, right? You might carry that on for the rest of your life and just be like, every time somebody gets in your way, they were being jealous of you, okay? Some of us, myself included, thought that they were just jealous of you and then ended up finding out later that, like, no, they actually had a valid reason for not liking what I did, right? So it's like you got to take it with a grain of salt. It can't always be that all the time. But if it's simply people not wanting to share in your joy and they're just being nitpicky with like unsolicited advice, unsolicited comments, negative Nancy talking where they drag you down, that does come from like a place of jealousy. I am sorry. You can argue with me about it in the comments section if you want, but I find it very distasteful when people are like that, because even if I'm seething inside because something great happened to somebody, I can at least fake it so that I don't look like I'm that kind of a person. So why can't they? That's my point. Why can't they? It's sort of that, yeah, that jealousy of a happy couple. Some people, they see a happy couple together and they just can't wait to tell you how you're not going to be like that forever. Well, yeah, true. One of us might die before the other one, or, you know, our feelings might change or whatever. But can we enjoy ourselves now? I remember and I think they were trying to like protect you from being shocked or upset when like your pet might die, you know, before you kind of situation. But I remember my parents kind of like telling me as I was like, you know, love festing with my puppy or kitten that I just got, and like, it's gonna die someday. And you need to like face that. Like, cool, can we enjoy the kitten for like 2 whole seconds before we think about it dying? Like, good grief. I think they were trying to help because they could see how much love and feeling I was putting into that kitten, but not the time, guys, you know? Like, I'm not a moron. I know that like life is not completely and totally infinite, that we're all biological matter that's going to have to like change form and leave this earth or whatever. Yeah, I feel that for you guys. I feel like there's just that downer, but you don't need to let it get you down because you're already in the sun, okay? You're already in love. You're already in the job you wanted. You've already accomplished what you needed to do. And if people don't want to celebrate you, go find somebody who will. I like to find people who, you know, they kind of have to be nice to you no matter what, like cashiers and delivery people, and just like people that are just doing their job and they get involved with you because they're doing their job. Those people are generally like your best little guardian angels sometimes, because you like say something like, how are you today? And you're like, oh man, I'm great. I just fell in love and got engaged. They're going to go, oh, congratulations. That's great. They're not going to go, oh, well, remember, you know, don't stay engaged too long or whatever they say. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. If you have to celebrate on your own, then just do it. See how she's got all those presents? She's chilling in front of her Christmas tree. There's not a soul around her, but she's still content and happy. Okay? That's what I want for you, my pile twos, is that feeling of contentment, even if it's just by yourself. Sit and bask in the fact that you did this. And like, chances are, if that's the ish that people were dishing when you actually got it, then they didn't help you get there, like in most cases. So take that into consideration as well. They didn't help you get there, so why would they help you ride the glee? You know what I mean? We have the Queen of Cups for the end. You know that that's how they are. You know the truth. You know that you're accomplished. You know they're just jealous jellies. So enjoy what you have. Find people who do celebrate with you, even if it's not your family or your regular circle of people. Find people who actually understand, who support you and want you to do what's best. I always find it Nice to go find a support group. If you live out in the city, there's a support group for everybody and just go. There's also open support groups for all different kinds of things. And so like you just find the one that you relate to the most and go, right? You don't have to say anything. It just helps to listen to people who are going through their own things, but they're all sitting together and coming up with common love and support for each other. Okay, that's why they call it a support group. Right? Those guys aren't going to drag you down unless it's like one of those tough love groups, you know, like AA, where they're like, newbies, shut up. You don't get to talk today. That doesn't happen anymore. That's like 1930s. But like, you go to small little out in the sticks areas like I do, you'll run into people like that. And that's okay. You know, they're still doing it from a place of support and love. It's just kind of old school. But I don't think you guys are going to run into that until it's 2024. Almost. I see with the Queen of Cups that you have emotional fulfillment. See how she's also kind of alone in her kitchen, but she's got her little crown on and she's got her little cocktail and she's got her little, like, you know, letters that she's opening, right? Because like these are clearly addressed and been through some things. She's just enjoying this moment on her own. And that's okay. Do that. That's exactly the same message with this card. It's like, you don't need their approval or their congratulations to enjoy what you have now. All right. I always say, reach into that petty part of your heart and go, I got stuff you don't have. And don't do it to their faces because that'll make you look like a terrible person, but do it inside. I encourage you. Look who did stuff. Look who got accomplished. Look who got the sun card. Look who fell in love. Look who got the job. Like, it's all for you. Just do it. That helps with your perseverance anyway, right? Is that idea of keeping at it, going through it, whether anybody's with you or not. You're going to persevere and you're going to enjoy yourself. I feel like the perseverance part of this is enjoying yourself, not letting those guys get you down. And even if you haven't run into that, chances are this message is coming to you because you might. You see what I mean? If you even made it this far, you're probably like, that's not relative, and you left. But I feel that for y'all. I feel that you're in a good place. You know, and people be damned that don't want to. Just let them go do their thing. And don't be afraid to say, oh, that was a backhanded compliment, Carol. Let's try a different name. Let's try, you know, something like Pamela. That was great, Pam. Like, how about not saying that to me right now? Because that's not really what I need to hear at this time. And a lot of times that'll take people back. They'll say, oh, I didn't mean anything by it. And at that point, just nod and smile and be like, okay, just, you know, not what I need to hear right now. Cool. How about just telling me congratulations? That's what I really want to hear. Look at my beautiful ring, you know, stuff like that. You can stand up for yourself. Just keep it calm. Keep that fire down. Because most of these people that are making you feel this heartache don't even realize that that's what they're doing to you. They just, you know, people don't know what to say, and so they just say stuff. And I try to remind myself that, like, I've done that too. I've said stupid things that didn't help, you know, and I thought that I was just trying to say something. Try to keep that in mind as well, and try to keep forgiveness in your heart for those that aren't doing it. If they don't deserve it, though, you have the strength and the abilities to conquer that and stand up to it. You also have the strength and ability to do it in a kind, loving way. That's where temperance also comes in, is finding that balance between just being happy for yourself and letting people do what they're going to do because they're going to do it anyway. Oh boy, howdy, won't they? All right, that's all I have for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give me comments on how it was helpful in the comment section. If you want to give me topic ideas, you can put those in the comments as well. There are easy ways to get a hold of me if you would like to ever do a private reading with me. You can also just email me or message me on those links and get information from me. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, my pile twos. We will see you in the next one. Bye. Pile 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and look, pile 3, at your messages. Get that out of the way. Ruins the ambience of the moment, I feel. Oh, I know. I'll just go. Yoinksies. There we go. I have that over there in case I get a call from my client. This is what I do when it's slow sometimes, when I don't just conk out and watch TV. I apologize for the lighting. I am losing my light as the day is coming to an end. It gets this weird hazy white cast around everything, but it kind of makes it more Christmassy. Let's into your reading. Pile 1. What do you want? How do you get it? I apologize for my reflections in these cards. Okay, turning inward. I can't quite get this to focus, but I'm going to do my best. Inside the veil of bone and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. As truths within thy breath have come to greet me. All truths. All the truths within thy breath have come to greet me. Okay. Feasting. Num, 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 num. Let me get that light off. Well, I don't know if it's better, but at least we can't see that anymore. Okay. Here I am ducking out of the camera again. So feasting, number 14. Let us feast upon the nourishing and be thankful for thy feast. Nor here or there, yet everywhere it be. It's funny because I'm not reading those in the camera. You would think that's why I'm having a hard time. But it's not. It's because I also cannot see because of the lighting in here. I should just keep doing these in my living room, but I have this whole room for this. Okay, let's see what we got here. Wreath. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. Heavy. But don't worry, you're going to be okay. Silent night. 32. If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening, there would sound nothing at all nothing would sound. These cards are so poetic. Okay. I care about things being centered, which is so funny because that's about as far as my organizational skills will take me. After that, I'm a hot mess every single time. And by hot mess, I don't mean hot like attractive. I mean hot like hot garbage. Okay, let's go. We got the Tower, not surprising. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse. We've got, the Emperor. And we've got the Page of Wands. Okay, so let's start with these guys first. I'm gonna steal these over here. So with this turning inward card, all truths within thy breath have come to greet me. Turning inward, number 40. I can almost feel what it's trying to say to you, but give me just a second. It's so hard when you do general readings because there's so many different things. It's also when you have a client you've worked with for a while, like you'll see a card and be like, you and so-and-so are having problems again, aren't you? It's so much easier. Reading for strangers is hard. Okay. I feel like this is something to do with you being alone at night, some of you. And when you're alone at night, that's when you get haunted by those things that you want, or the big thing that you want. That's why you clicked on this video, is because you want to know if you're going to get what you want, right? You want to know even what it is that you want. What do you want, right? Your answer lies inside of you, is what this card is saying. There's something about deep down inside, I hear you already know. Oof. One of your guides out there, whoever you guys are, just came right up over my shoulder and said that right in my ear. It felt like, yeesh. Okay, just saying, that doesn't usually happen. I'm a strict medium about my boundaries. However, okay, let's see. What else do we have? Feasting, number 14. Let us feast upon the nourishing and be thankful for thy feast, nor here or there, yet everywhere it be. Okay, this is also talking about being grateful, but looking at what you already have as well. Like, even if you don't have the thing that you want right this second, and I don't even know what that is yet. You're like, well, what is it? I don't know yet. Hang on. You might not know. Oh. Is it because you know you want something, but you don't know what that is, pile 3? And if I keep calling you pile 2, I'm sorry. It's because I had I had a meeting, and then the meeting got canceled, and then I had yeah, you're like, meeting with who? The trolls in your basement? Why, yes. And what's wrong with trolls? No, I'm just kidding. It was a financial advisor. Ugh. Talk about feeling like a grown-up is like talking to a financial advisor when you don't have money. That is the way to go, my friends. And nothing makes you feel smaller and more childlike than somebody explaining to you how money and investments works. That aside, I just wanted to laugh about that with you. Some of you might totally feel that. So I always just let the weird things that are in my head come out. And by the 3rd or 4th pile, I'm always so loopy. They're probably like, good grief, she must go and take a shot of rum in between those readings. So by the time she gets to reading number 4, she's about 4 rums deep. But I don't drink. I am just like this. It's painful to watch. It would probably actually be smoother and steadier if I wasn't sober. Okay, here we go. It would probably be smoother and sober if I was drinking. Okay, let's see now. But that's not true, by the way, just so you know. Yeah. I feel like somebody out there has like an uncle or something that says stuff like that. Like, I drive better when I've been drinking. Like, no, you don't, uncle. Driving drunk. No, you don't. It might feel like it, but what that really is, living without alcohol is just that miserable that you feel like you can't even drive. That's what you need to focus on, Uncle so-and-so. All right, Uncle me. Yeah, there's a reason I don't drink. It's me talking about AA all the time. Okay, let's move on. Even if you don't have what you want right now and you don't even know what you want right now, your guides are always going to pop in and be like, hey, there's a lot of stuff you've already got that you're not seeing, and it's tied into what you already want. Does that make sense? So pay attention. And when you find them, be thankful, right? I have a really hard time during the holidays for all kinds of stupid reasons. It's really important for me during that time of year to find beauty in things, to find people that are good and doing wonderful things for each other, and to actually recognize the good things people do for me, because people do wonderful things for me. And I'm so mired down in my misery sometimes that I don't think to say thank you because I think too much about what I don't have. Your guides are telling you right now that you have so much to be grateful for. So many 4s today. Pile 2 got a lot of 4s, and I did call you pile 2. So maybe check out that as we go. That one was about having something already and wanting people to be happy for you. Okay, but let's move on. I'm feeling like you need to turn inward. Notice how it's talking about turning inward, and the feasting is always there, right? There's always a reason to celebrate, is what this card is saying to me. It doesn't always just have to be Christmas. Don't wait to wear your cute outfit or your, as I say to the gents, dapper outfit. You dapper gents, you getting all dressied up. I don't know why I'm picking on the gents. That just happened. But yeah, it's like this beautiful life that you already have. And I'm not discounting your hardships. Please don't think that. I know all about that. Okay. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm telling you there's some Easter egg golden things in your life that you're just not quite focusing on right now. And it's not to say that you don't know that they're there and that you aren't grateful for them. You could probably name them off for me in several cases, right? But your guides want you to look even deeper inward at those little treasure troves of things. Think about like things that you wanted to happen when you were a child that did come to pass, but you haven't noticed it because it was so gradual. Like maybe you turned into a dapper fellow and you're kind of like what you thought was an ugly duckling, or you were like awkward growing up. And then it got better and you've been like slaying, being a real man's man. Okay. And if you're female, just take it the opposite. Maybe you were a little bit awkward, but now you're like a little hottie, right? And everybody just kind of like even talks about it in front of you. Like, oh, they just say it like it's common, like the sky is blue, like there's you looking awesome. And you're like, yes, I am. Own it, but also recognize that part that triumphed even more. Like go back and tell that little kid when they were having that hard day back in the past, hey, you're going to be dapper. You're going to be pretty, right? You're going to be what you want. You're actually already cultivating it right now. So just grow that little personality, and don't worry about what the outside looks like just yet, because that's not going to be how it looks in 5 seconds, right? And that's how looks kind of go all the time. It's like a different person for some of us. You look back at pictures of yourself and you're like, is that even me, right? So look for those Easter egg moments. Look for things that came true that you can celebrate now. Look at things that haven't come true yet and think about how you would celebrate when they happen, and imagine that it's already happened and you're like, I'm doing this to celebrate. And that will help bring that energy in as well. It'll help that manifestation flow. Okay. We have the wreath for number 43. There's the circle of life. Therein, I cannot read these. I just can't see. The light's so bright in here. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. This time of year, a lot of people think about death. I was just talking about it with a client today about how you lose a lot of people in the wintertime. So like if you're even a young person, you may have already lost an elderly grandparent or someone, right? The roads are slick on top of everything else. People eat a lot more than they normally do. And if they've already got like an issue, it can trigger, an event and kill them, and it happens just more because of the numbers of everyone doing it all at the same time. It's also winter time, and so it's very hard to recover if your body's kind of getting towards the end of its span, right? And sorry about that. I had to hit pause because I thought I saw someone walking in my backyard and there's nobody there. That could mean somebody is here to see someone. It was a young man, late 20s, or just a really big boy, that was like, it's like 17 maybe even, like, but he looked like, it's what I call a man child, if that's the case. Youthful energy, dark heavy pants, and a dark jacket. I can't see his chest. It's like it's not there. Kind of like dark hair, olivey skin. And he's just trudging up to the house was where I saw him. I was seeing him there in the reflection of like a vehicle, but then he disappeared. When I looked over to find who was walking in my yard, there was just nobody there. And then I looked back and his reflection was gone. So if anyone knows somebody of that description, I feel like they are here with us now for sure. Or at least checking in on you and wanted me to see them so that I said something to you. I've never done that before. That was crazy. Okay, we're going to keep on going. People that don't believe in that stuff are like, you're so full of it. I could just be crazy. But you watch me, so what does that make you? Okay, back to it. I make jokes when weird metaphysical things happen. That was interesting. Hang on. So when someone dies, and I feel like this is something about someone dying too soon or dying young, right? Or dying before time or being taken. You know what I mean? It's like, if it happens during this holy time of the year and the time of year where everybody's celebrating and feasting and being all happy, it can really, really, really be hard. And I feel that. I also feel, that decline of elder age and watching somebody fade away from that big, strong, like, pawpaw that you were scared of to a frail little man that you could have picked up and cradled, right? Okay. I'm also seeing that this time of year makes a few of you think of your own imminent demise. Don't be scared of, I'm not going to tell you to not be scared of death, because how do you stop being scared of something that's scary, right? The thing that I want you to think about and not be scared of is don't be afraid to think about it. If it's already poking around back there, it's going to come back out and get you when you don't want it to. It can trigger you. I have a friend that is very, very, very scared of death. And not just scared of it, but it makes them mad and it makes them angry that it even happens at all. And with all the knowledge that we have, why can't we stop it? And this is a smart person, like very logical, okay? And feels that hope that we will eventually discover a way to not have to die, that we can just figure out a way to keep living forever, or at least living like even more long length than we do now, which we've come a long way, right? With our average death age. If we're living to old age, it's like we get to be almost like 100. Even if you're not in the best of health, you can make it that far. Whereas back in the day, you were lucky to make it to 45. But the fact of the matter is that it is in your mind if it's a fear. And the first way to conquer your fear is not to get over it, not to ignore it, not to go out and try to do it. Obviously, don't do it there. We need you around. But facing it, just looking at it. You don't even have to get confrontational with it yet. Just look at it. What is it that scares you? What things are scary? What parts of it seem worse than other parts, etc., and so forth? Do some deaths seem easier than others, etc., and so forth? Focus on that, because it's the seeds that you need to start with. Okay, it's the very tip of the iceberg of where you need to go to get through that fear. One thing I can promise you about passing away is that it's kind of like giving birth. You're so busy doing it, you really don't have time to despair that hard for very long. Okay. I don't know if that is something somebody needed to hear, but it's scary. And we think about it this time of year. I've lost 3 people, at least 4 people that I really, really deeply, truly loved in my life, during this time of year. 2 of them right during this month. So I feel that I gotta go because we're losing light. You're like, yeah, you do. You suck at this. By night, the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening. There would sound nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing would sound. I read that wrong the first time, so I'm glad I read it again. I feel like this is tied to this. Just, it's almost like that Bible verse, be still and know, right? That your God is there. And I don't care what God you pray to. Okay. And if you don't even pray to a God, it still works, because that's your purest self, right? Of being still and knowing that you're a good person, that you're trying your best, that you love these people around you, and that you're going to survive what's going on. And you're going to discover what it is you want. I feel like in a lot of cases, I know this is like a totally different reading. I should title it something else. But it's like deep down, I feel like you just want to feel safe. We've got this Tower card here. I feel like you want to feel safe. I feel like you want to know where you're going. That's why you want to know what you want, right? What your guides are telling you is that what you really want at the heart of you is pretty much already here in some way. And you're just not quite seeing it yet. but you're on the brink because he's in reverse. So people read this one in reverse a lot of different ways. Like some people, I always like to take, if it's kind of more negative, I make it more positive, etc. and so forth. If it's up, then it's going to be down. But the Hanged Man in reverse, when he's upright, he's telling you need to look at things differently. There's something you haven't seen yet that you would see if you looked at it from a different angle. I feel like when he's in reverse, you're either in the process of already seeing what you need to see, you're halfway there already. Maybe something that we were talking about snapped something, or recently something snapped, and that's why you're here watching this now. But it's something about this like aha moment that you're feeling that's going to make you feel more at ease with what you want in life. Okay. And what I'm seeing here is you want safety. And this is a lot of different things I'm getting. Okay. So please bear with me. I'm going to give you a big old list and I'm going to go as fast as I can. Property security, owning a home, having a roof over your head, not being scared of being out on the streets. A lot of people are worried about that right now. And it's like, this time of year, it's cold. It's the worst time to be out on the streets. So I feel this, like they say that like, this certain large, scary percentage of people are like 2 paychecks away from bankruptcy all the time. And so that is a really scary place to live. And I feel like you don't like living like that. I feel like you probably had to live like that when you were a child, possibly some of you. I feel like some of you worked really, no, I almost cussed, worked really flipping hard to get what you want and get here. And to have it ripped away, like they're getting their stuff ripped away, would be devastating. Just utterly devastating. And I feel like that's not what you want. Okay. I feel like you want safety. You want a nice, secure property, relationships, job, world. The world is in a lot of deep doo-doo right now. And I'm not going to get into any big sermon on that, but it's such a fact that we just need to kind of go with it and roll with the punches, because I know that things are really hard and really bad for people right now in some cases. And some people watching right now are going through hard times. And I feel that. I'm going through hard times too, pile threes. But look at over here. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is all about being your own boss, being successful, being rich, being a man's man, even if you're a woman or identify as such, then here we are. Okay. The Emperor is a king. He's a self-made man. Okay. He's self-employed. Some of you might be self-employed, but I'm seeing that that's what you want. You want stability. You want to be able to live in a world where this kind of stuff doesn't have to happen anymore. I feel like some of you are so sick and tired of having your entire life ripped away. You keep on a good positive face and you build yourself up just to get it knocked back down again. I totally relate. It is such a rough spot to be. I feel like with so many people in these piles today that it's just been like that, just for everyone. Okay, and then lastly, the Page of Wands. You want to feel inspired and excited again. And that's why a lot of this is saying, hey, you've already got a lot of this. You can always be inspired. I know. Situations are bleak, I get it. But there's always something to look inward and be grateful for and feel inspired about something. Some of us may have an awful family, but we have an amazing spouse. And we can just look at our spouse and just see how amazing they are and give them thanks and just celebrate them in our hearts and celebrate them to them. Let them know how much we love them. It could be, your home life is a mess, but at work, people count on you and you are steadfastly there, and you don't just do it because it's a job. You do it with love. I'm just giving examples of the things that I think we sometimes forget about, right? I think that I joked about this all the time when I was trying to learn how to not talk bad about myself. like, oh, I hate myself. And then you catch yourself and you make yourself stop. I hate myself. But, right, you stop yourself. You're like, but, I make a mean chocolate chip cookie. You know what I mean? Anything. Be grateful chocolate chip cookies exist. And you know what they taste like? Pile threes. I'm starting to sound like I'm crazy. It's your guides, not mine. All right, let's see some Christmassy goodness here. 3 of Pentacles. Some of you might want to be recognized for how good your work is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the workplace. You want to be recognized for work that you do in some area. You want people to see that you're doing a good job. A mother, perhaps, that you're a good mother. Sometimes mothers get overlooked because they just give all the time. And a lot of times your children, especially when they're little, and all the time after that, they forget to be grateful that you're there, especially if you're there all the time. The Empress. Financial security, abundance. I feel like you're going to get what you want. I also feel like whatever is tormenting you in this time, to the point where you're not even sure what you want, like if it's some kind of an outcome you're hoping for, but you don't even know what that might be, because everything's so totally messed up right now for a few of you, just think about the fact that you're doing the right thing. You're being a good person. You can always be still and look in. You do have things to be grateful for. You're not alone. Okay. I'm also seeing that, yeah, the Ace of Cups. See, I feel like this is moving into, if you just keep plugging along and doing what you got to do, you're going to figure out what you want. The other thing I'm hearing your guides say is this: just because you don't know what you want doesn't mean you're not going to get it. I'm hearing that. I also hear that some of you might be wanting to be recognized for something. Oh, yeah. See, you want to be able to recognize that moment is what I'm seeing. So what that weird little saying was that I just said, they're basically saying you're not going to miss it. Does that make sense? You're not going to miss figuring out what you want. You're not going to miss the outcome being what you want because you didn't know how that outcome could be found. Does that make sense, pile threes? Ugh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the conflict stuff. I see you not wanting that conflict, that turmoil, right? I see you, it's more not wants than what you want. And that does also go into death as well. Just this kind of worried energy. Change is coming, okay? It's going to be fine. You're going to figure it out. I feel like once you figure it out, your whole energy is going to change. It's going to shift. Oh, there's another couple of cards for you. The King of Pentacles in reverse. And the Wheel of the Year. Yeah. Things are going to change from feeling like you have no idea, right? No direction of even knowing what to want in your situation. You might know the situation you're in, right? And it might have to do with death. It might have to do with family. It might have to do with a lot of, partners, romantic or platonic friends, business partners, married partners, that kind of thing. It's this energy with you in that I'm feeling you're kind of on the brink of knowing exactly what you want when you want it. I feel like some of you are figuring out that there's a few things you're going to need to do to get it once you do figure it out. There might be some change involved. I'm like trying to be direct. You might have to change something to figure out exactly what it is that you want in a couple of cases for you, my pile threes. Let's see what else. I was just going to ask you, some of you have like an anxiety issue. And I don't mean a diagnosis, I mean anxiety feelings. Do you tend to feel anxious about things not turning out? Make sure that you focus on the fact that they can turn out well. It's okay to think positive, as they say. Positively, as they don't usually say, even though it's the correct way. With the death card also, if some of you are dealing with, and I don't care if this is a death that happened a long time ago, because I feel for some of you it might be, this time of year reminds you of that time. It's going to kind of make it more fresh every year. That's just kind of what happens. And I feel that that can cycle. You'll have good years, and I don't call them bad years. I call them, more spicy in the remembrance category, right? Where you cry more, you see a movie that you used to watch together at Christmas time and that makes you cry. You remember things they said. You notice their absence at parties. You notice their absence when you're shopping for gifts. And that can take its toll. Yeah, it can be a damper on your good cheer, the Nine of Cups. I feel like the opposite of a wish come true. And that's something that we want you, your guides and I, to try to like force yourself to look at the positive, even though it might feel cliche or even unrealistic in some cases. I'm not saying like sell the farm, but it's okay to imagine how cool it would be if the farm sold for $1 million and you're able to go live in like Tahiti or something, Yeah, the moon. You know what the moon's all about? Besides all the other stuff they say it's about? It's also about your intuition telling you something, but it's also about finding an answer, illumination coming in. It's hazy at first. You can't see it right away, but it is going to show up. I feel like this particular card, it's Ace of Wands, but it's all about shining that aha light. I see like a light bulb in this card, or a light shining your way in a dark passage because it's a candle. And I also see the Queen of Candles, which is about falling in love, being safe on your own, being content on your own, and being a pillar of a woman, right? Because that's what she is, okay? Or the pillar of a man. Or however you think of yourself, okay? Alrighty. I think that's all. This was an amazing little category, so I hope you were able to stay with me on that. It's your guides. Holy heck. Now that I'm here, welcome back, everybody. So, you guys, my soul friends, I thank you for this. If this was helpful, go ahead and tell me how in the comments section. If you have questions about it, I'm sure you will, because it was mazy, like a maze. You can ask me about it in the comments section. Go ahead and give me topic ideas in the comments section as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Ooh, there's a client. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye-bye-bye.